Okay, this is a very quick visual, video review of the Instant Vortex XL size 9-quart air fryer. This is a dual zone air fryer. However, unique to this particular model, there is a single 9-quart area, and then if you want to put it in dual zone mode, you just put in this divider as such, and then you change the mode in here, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. So that you can have two different programs going on in each one. But I actually have a pretty big family, and I typically leave it at the 9-quart mode because this can feed like a bag of fries with a big family of 6. No problem with, or chicken nuggets or fish sticks, etc. Things like that. In terms of cleaning, it's quite simple. Actually, all of this you see here is dishwashable, but I don't particularly recommend it. It's easy enough, non-stick surface. You could just wash it under the sink, and you lift this off and the bottom panel comes off. Nice and easy. Okay, so just put this on. When this thing is idle for a while, the LED kind of goes super dim. It's a standby, but right now I just touched it, so it's in ready mode. When you pick a program, it's in single mode, so you only see the timer, the temperature, and the air fry mode or the bake mode, whatever. Quite simple to use. You can change the temperature, you can change the time, and all you do is press start. Simple as that. So you can see that it's preheating, and once it's achieved its target temperature, you're good to go, and you kind of open it and kind of start it off. Okay, and now if you want to, I'm just going to cancel it. If you want to switch it to dual zone mode, you just double tap it and you can see 2 readies. So let's just, you can see there's 1 and 2, so you pick 1. And I'm gonna do air fry on that side. And I don't know, let's just say, let's pick something different like bake. Oops, my bad. I forgot to press 2. Bake. And for each of these, you can, change the timer as such. Okay, and then there's this thing called sync finish, and it's supposed to use some kind of fuzzy logic so that the overall cook time will end at the same time, but I don't know, I don't really use it. It gets a little bit complicated and unnecessary. I think if you use your brain and just kind of work it out yourself, it works just fine. So now you've got 2 zones going. Both sides are saying preheating. So once that's done, you put in your food and you're good to go. It's quite simple. You can hear the unit fan go on. This is pretty much standard on all air fryers. You have your convection fans and etc. So kind of expected. It's not as loud as I thought. I actually have a Ninja 4-quart smaller air fryer, and it's actually just as loud as this. So this is actually fairly quiet considering it's a much larger unit. Okay, so just to give you the comparison of how large this is, I'm going to show you this, and I'm just going to pick up the Ninja 4-quart one in just 1 sec. Okay, so side by side, this is my Ninja 4-quart, and this is the XL Vortex from Instant. So you can see kind of like pretty significant difference. I have to use 2 and maybe 2.5 runs at this thing in order to feed my family if I'm doing something like fries and some other stuff. But with this thing, I could probably do it all at once. You can see it's hard to tell, but because this is a circle, it's harder to lay out like things like fries. This is more like a rectangular shape, so you can actually fit a lot more than you think, considering this is only double the size. So I can feed my whole family with this one. I'd have to do maybe for sure 2 runs or maybe 2.5 with this one. So there's a pretty significant size difference. Okay, I'm just gonna mention something that you won't quite pick up on a video. This non-stick is definitely non-stick. However, I find the metals to be a little bit malleable and soft, like even the walls. Whereas if you look at this Ninja, this is rock solid. There's 0 flex, and this is a lot thicker metal. So quality-wise, you can kind of see where things are cut, corners are cut. Definitely the Ninja wins in terms of build quality. and the non-stick stickiness of the surface. This one is easy to clean still with a non-abrasive brush, but you can just tell where the corners are cut here. It's a flexible sort of metal. The walls are a bit tinny, whereas this one is rock solid. You can hear the difference. So that's kind of something I noticed, where clearly this is a much more cost-effective unit compared to the Ninjas. Okay, and I just wanted to show you that indeed on both zones here, you can see that each side there is a heating element. In addition to that, I'm not sure if you can see, but each left and right zone has its individual convection fan as well. So it definitely is a dual zone with independent heating elements and independent convection fans. So how does it work? I actually got rid of my entire toaster oven and put this in its spot. Effectively, I don't really need a toaster oven anymore. If I want to toast bread, I actually probably can use this. Pizzas and all that stuff, I can use this to reheat. And in fact, there is a reheat button, which is quite, actually I almost use that more than any other function here. I also do have a standalone like bread toaster, so I really think that this replaces the toaster oven that I had. Overall, I have very good impression of this. Some things that I mentioned in terms of the build quality, obviously it's cutting corners a little bit, but it still works quite well. Love the size, excellent for a large family, 5 or 6 people. I do wish the display were a little bit brighter. It is a little dark. The video doesn't quite show it, but the contrast is pretty low and there's no way to adjust that. I'm not a huge fan of this type of surface. Like if you start wiping it like I did here, you can see some scratch marks here. So try to clean it with a non-abrasive cloth if possible. I actually did that, but it still causes a bit of scratchy marks. So it's hard to keep pristine clean. Those are my only little issues with this thing. But other than that, I think for the price paid, I actually got this on an Amazon Prime Day sale. So it was under $200, which was fantastic. Superb small appliance for your kitchen. I can easily recommend it if you're on a budget and you need a cost-effective way for feeding a family of 6 with an air fryer. Oh, and as you can see, it went into standby. Pretty cool. Hope this helps.
Okay, so this is the Instant Pot Vortex Slim. It's about that size. This is it on my kitchen counter. I have it kind of catty-cornered, but if you see it, it's pretty slim for reference. That's the one I had before. It was the Ninja one. Now this is that one. Okay, so that's it from the side. If you open it, it's relatively large. Just pull it. There's no release or anything. It's got this plate in there, so make sure you get the plate, because I did get one that didn't have a plate, so just make sure that's in there. And there's this pull tab. You can pull it up to use it. Take it in or out for cleaning. I kind of clean it just like you would a blender. So I just put the soap and water inside and just stick it in there for a few minutes. And when it's done, it'll click, whatever, it'll make a noise. To do it, you just push the buttons. So it's touch screen, whatever you want to do. I usually just use the air fry in 390, set the temperature over here if you need more or time. You can go up, it doesn't go less than a minute, and you can go all the way up as long as an hour. So when you're ready, just hit it. You can hit start. It's relatively quiet compared to my other one, so I think that's pretty good. That's it running. And if I wanted to stop it, I just hit cancel. I mean, this button doesn't moves around. So it doesn't really turn it on or off. You just do it like that. Turn it on, you just click whatever you want. So this does not on or off or anything. It's just cancel. Okay, that's it. And nothing helps. Nothing works. It'll allow me to do that. I can change the temperature, go to different settings. Temp works, time work, but it won't let me start it. And I've been trying to close this basket properly. Trying to see, you know, like maybe it's loose or something. Nothing. Nothing works. So that's money down the drain.
Not working.
Even unplugging and trying to redo it, we just get closed basket.
Say closed basket.